FPL Double Game Week 25. In today's video, we're going to be looking at how my team fared in the Double Game Week, first Double Game Week of the season in Game Week 24, as well as how my team is shaping up going into the deadline today, Double Game Week 25. Don't forget to set your team, guys. The deadline is an early one going into this one. Once again, this video is brought to you by myself, FPL Carnage, in association with Gigawin. Now, before we start this video, I just want to do a quick shout out. Happy Valentine's Day to all the FPL managers out there. So let's go right into the video for today. In Double Game Week 24, I had my assistant manager chip active. My team scored a total of 130 points. I was on a -4, however, so a total of 126 points. In goal, I took out Matt Sells of Nottingham Forest, brought in Pickford, had a double game week against Liverpool and Leicester. He kept a clean sheet in the 4-0 win against Leicester. Unfortunately, he conceded 2 goals in the Merseyside derby, which was really expected. He got an assist and a clean sheet in the game against Leicester City and returned 10 points for me in that double game week. In my defense, I had Gabriel. Gabriel returned just 2 points in that game against Man City, but it was, a really exciting game for Arsenal. They won 5-1, a lot of goals in that match. Unfortunately, that they couldn't get any goals from the set pieces. Alexander Arnold was the second defender in my defense. Away at Bournemouth and away at Everton, he did keep a clean sheet. Um, Away to Bournemouth, came off the bench, due to his injury for the game against Everton, but he managed to return 7 points in the double game week. I honestly didn't even expect him to feature in that game against Everton because it was a huge doubt. But Bradley was on a yellow card, so Arnold came in for him. My third defender was Lewis Hall. Lewis Hall at home to Fulham. Shockingly, Newcastle lost that game 2-1, considered 2 goals in that game. So 1 point from Lewis Hall in my defense. In my midfield, I had Brian Mbeumo, 2 points from him as well in that game against Tottenham. It was really unexpected as well. We know how fantastic, Brentford's home record this season has been. I did expect Brentford to score. I honestly didn't see Tottenham keeping a clean sheet in that game. But yeah, 2 points from Mbuemo. Salah, my captain, going into double game week. I must say he actually surprised me. I was one of the people that actually said I didn't believe that he could bring, produce a massive haul in this double game week. Kudos to all the managers that went for TC Salah in double game week 24. I don't think any player might outscore his performance in this double game week except himself in this double game week 25. 29 points from him. As captain, 58 points. Triple captain, we have 78 points from him. Palmer with just 6 points for me in the game against West Ham. I think he got an assist in that game. Rogers with just 1 point. 2-0 loss away to Wolves. Up in attack, I had Ndiaye, whom I brought in for João Pedro. Ndiaye got, the default goal in the Leicester game. He looked good in the Liverpool game until he, had to be substituted due to a ligament injury in the 24th minute. So he returned just 1 point in that second game. But he got a bonus point as well in the Leicester game, 2 bonus points. So 9 points from him in the double game week. Ishak, 2 points. Disappointing, like I said, the loss against Fulham. I was really expecting a high scoring game, both sides to score 2+ goals. Ishak didn't manage to get anything from the game, so 2 points from him. Chris Wood with his first hat trick of the season. Really, really emphatic win from Nottingham Forest. A good bounce back statement after the 5-0 loss against Bournemouth the previous week before that game. 7-0 win against Brighton with a clean sheet. So Slow as my assistant manager returned 15 points. The win, against Bournemouth and a draw to Everton. Kudos to the managers that went David Moyes ahead of, Arne Slot. David Moyes, I think, returned 22 points as assistant manager. So kudos to you guys that went TC Salah and assistant manager David Moyes. Now let's look at what my team is looking like going into double game week 25. I have Pickford in goal away to Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace have looked like a really good goal scoring side. I think they've scored in each of their last 6 games. I think this is a game where Everton may concede as well. I am banking on saves, however, from Pickford, because I think Everton are going to score, and I think Crystal Palace are going to score. Although it could also go, the other way. It could be a really, really stale game and like just end goalless, which I'm really hoping for at this point. My first defender is Gabriel away to Leicester City. Leicester City sitting bottom of the league, really sorry, second to 19th in the league. Really really terrible defense at the moment. Really vulnerable from set pieces as well. I think this is a game Gabriel should get an attacking return and a potential clean sheet out of. Um, Arsenal have been plagued with a lot of attacking injuries at the moment, so I think Arteta is one going to alter his tactics to go back to focusing on trying to get goals from set pieces, which should favor Gabriel. So yeah, my second defender is Alexander Arnold. He has a double game week as well. Liverpool doubled in 24. They're going to double in 25, having been knocked out of the FA Cup. So yeah, Arnold is going to be at home to Wolves and away to Villa. I think that home game against Wolves is a game that they're going to look to bounce back after the draw against Everton. Wolves have had a really terrible defense. In the last 4 games, they've been conceding a lot of goals. This is a game with a potential for clean sheets. Although I do see Liverpool conceding at the moment, they have looked a bit shaky in defense. Not really coordinated in their last 3 games, conceded careless goals. But Arnold should be able to get an attacking return. And the game against Villa, we know what kind of game we always expect when Villa meet Liverpool. It's always a high scoring game. So I don't see a clean sheet for Liverpool in that game. But hoping for attacking returns from, one of the best attacking defenders in the game. Robinson is going to be my third defender at home to Nottingham Forest. We know that Fulham always pose a threat to whichever team they're playing in Craven Cottage. Robinson is the highest scoring defender in terms of goal involvements currently this season. I think he has about 9 assists or 10 assists so far in the Premier League. At home to Forest. Forest have a really formidable defense as well, but they are away, right? I do believe Fulham should be able to get a goal. And I think Fulham may concede as well, but I'm banking on a Robinson attacking return in this game because I think the both teams may just go at themselves. Umbuemo away to West Ham. This should be a game where Brentford look to bounce back, right? I don't think they've won a game in their last 2, 3 games. So Mbuemo always a necessity. Don't focus on the fixture difficulty rating. He is a really great asset to have. Nailed on penalties, nailed on minutes. So yeah, he's going to be my first midfielder. Salah, my captain, and my second midfielder at home to Wolves and away to Aston Villa. Great record against both teams. If I wasn't still on my assistant manager, I would definitely activate my triple captain on Salah this week. My third midfielder is Cole Palmer away to Brighton. We saw the goal thriller at Stamford Bridge earlier in the season. I do think Palmer should get something out of the game because Brighton haven't really been decent, but we saw them struggle against Brighton in the FA Cup when they got knocked out. So it could really go both ways, or either way rather. But I think Chelsea should edge it in this game. Rodgers at home to Ipswich and at home to Liverpool. Aston Villa should be an easy game for them against Ipswich, and I think they would give Liverpool a run for their money in that game as well. I think Villa do get some goals, and Roger could potentially be on penalties after Watkins missed the last few that he took. And my fifth midfielder is going to be Kulusevski, but I do know that I'm going to be taking him out for a Bournemouth midfielder. Haven't really made up my mind whether to go with Utara, Semenyo, or Kluivert. Leaning towards Kluivert at the moment because he is nailed on, penalty duties and X minutes. Ishak is my first attacker away to Man City. Really, really thrilled to have him at this point because we know Man City have been terrible defensively, conceding goals every single game. I think this is a game Ishak gets back to goal scoring form. And Chris Wood is my second attacker away to Fulham. Scored his first hat-trick of the season. I think he's on great form. This should be a game he continues, his goal scoring in. Personally, for me, Nottingham Forest have a really great attack. On my bench, I have Ndiaye, who is injured, Veltman at home to Chelsea, Lewis Hall away to Man City, and Arne Slot, who is my assistant manager. So like I said, I am looking to get a Bournemouth midfielder, and I am possibly going to move away from Arne Slot to Unai Emery just because of the table points, the possible table points when Villa meet Liverpool. So yeah, those are potential transfers I'm looking at. I did think of doing Ishak to Watkins, but I just like Ishak against Man City. So yeah, my captain is on Mo Salah. My vice captain is going to be on Rodgers for the double game week. So yeah, this is what my team looks like going into the deadline. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments and I'll do well to get back to them as quickly as possible. Once again, this video is brought to you by myself, FPL Carnage, in association with Giga Win.